Hey guys. Hey Eve, how are you? Alrighty, so we're going to work in this journal today that I've been doing the art challenges from Cindy Utter's challenge in channel in. You saw this one posted last night, which was the no paint challenge. So we're going to do Monday with DecoArt in this journal. I'm going to see if I can turn it back on itself. I'm good. Hey, Sylvia. I mean, it's Monday. I'm as good as I can be for it being Monday. I mean, I look forward to Mondays a little more than I used to because, I just stay home now and do art and chat with you guys. But, it's Monday. All right. So I have this page here that I actually DecouPaged a little while ago because I wanted it to be kind of on the dry side. It's a little bit cold still, which means it's still a little damp. But while we're chatting, hopefully it'll dry some more. So, hey, Never Hopeless. Hey, and Sylvia. Hey, hello, everybody. So, okay. Last week on Watercolor Wednesday, I got asked to do giraffes. And I thought, okay, so why don't we do a giraffe here on Monday in mixed media, and then Wednesday we'll do one in watercolor. So I found 2 images on Paint My Photo. And after the broadcast is over, I will not only update the video description to include the list of materials and supplies that we use today, but I will also include the links to the 2 photographers who own these photos. Paint My Photos is a royalty-free site where you can get inspiration photos. I found this one, which I really loved, and you can see I spilled a drop of water on it. Oops. And so we're going to actually do that one today. And then I found this one, which is just a close-up of his face, that I think we're going to do in watercolor on Wednesday. So today we're going to do this one. And what I really wanted to do was I wanted to take and use some of the DecoArt collage papers. I'll show you in a minute, and do something sort of abstract with the background and, colors and patterns kind of inspired by this photo, which I'm going to stick up against the cabinets back here so I can see it. My desk is already a mess. We didn't even get started yet. Okay. Make sure I'm like in camera. All right. So I already did that, and what I used these DecouPage papers. They're collage papers. They're sort of a cross between like wrapping paper and tissue paper. There's something, like in between. So the ones that I used were this set, which is Olde Worlde. I used the text one from this one. Gold Trends, and from that one I used this particular paper, which this is a little scrap I'm going to stuff back in here. Ikat, Stag, and Victorian Romance. And I used little bits of those particular papers from those particular sets to do something sort of abstract and random in the background that gave me the feeling of the sort of, African desert plain. I don't know where this picture was taken, sort of background that you see in the inspiration photo. So we did that. And to glue them down, you can, I know, aren't the papers great? I really love their papers because they I really love to collage with thin papers like tissue paper. Tissue paper is my favorite collage paper, or old book paper. And these are like tissue paper, but they're a little thicker, sort of like the Tim Holtz tissue paper. And I really, really love them. I glued them down with a matte product. So you can use DecouPage matte or some other kind of matte medium. I like DecouPage matte. I just put it on thinly on the background, just enough to get the pages down, and then really use some sort of a scraping tool to really push them down into the glue and make sure you have all the edges stuck down really well. And don't worry about if it's hanging over the edges. I had it hanging over the edges, and then I just cut it off when it was dry enough. And my scraper tool that I use when I collage is actually this red thing, which you can find at the Dollar Tree. This is a Betty Crocker frosting scraper. It was $1. And I love this thing. And because it's like a silicone, you know, product, despite the fact that I don't really clean it very well ever, this stuff doesn't really stick to it. It just peels off. So, but it's a great collage tool. So I think this is kind of dry enough. And I've got a palette knife. I swear I'm awake. I've got a palette knife and a few different brushes, and I've got pencil, a charcoal pencil, and a couple of pens. So I think we're going to get started. And the first thing I want to do is kind of put our giraffe on here and kind of see where he's going to be. I pulled out a couple pencils because I wasn't sure initially which one I want to use. And the charcoal pencil I've recently used with like paint or something. So there we go. So I think I'm going to use the charcoal pencil at least to start. And I'm going to just kind of sketch out the shape here. And one of the reasons I'm choosing the charcoal pencil is because you guys are going to hopefully be able to see it, to be honest. So I'm just trying to draw what I see in the photo. And, you know, as usual, I probably am going to want to keep it kind of on the abstract side because, you know, that's what I do. So, but, you know, I want the shape to sort of resemble a giraffe. Would be nice. Now the charcoal pencil, when I start putting paint on here, is going to blend with the paint. I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, then I would suggest using something else. This is a charcoal. This is a charcoal pencil. And like I said, it's going to blend with, you know, the paint. It's not a permanent situation. So, you know, if you're not okay with that and you want something that's not going to blend with the paint and move around, then you probably want to go with a regular pencil or maybe a Sharpie pen. And now I'm just kind of going over, you know, my shapes and, you know, kind of adjusting them where needed. Now, one of the things you can do, because it is a charcoal charcoal pencil. Hey, Muriel, this is a baby wipe, and I can get in here with the baby wipe, and if I have too many lines on here in the wrong place and they're confusing me, I can just wipe them off. My background is dry, and the charcoal pencil, you know, charcoal pencil, if you've worked with charcoal, it doesn't stick. It's not a China marker. That's different. And a China marker is more waxy. This is actually a charcoal pencil. It looks the same. And I actually have a China marker somewhere. Do I have one in? Yeah. Okay. So this is a China marker, and this is by Generals. For those that don't know, I need a piece of paper. Oh, I have paper all over the table. Okay, so this is a China marker. Now a China marker is more like a crayon, a waxy, oily crayon. And this is the charcoal pencil. Now the charcoal pencil, see, it's going to move. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hang on. Okay. So in the upper part of the screen now, you'll be able to see that the charcoal pencil will move around. You don't have to do anything, and my finger is dry. Right? With the China marker, I'm going to clean and dry off my finger. With the China marker, see, it'll move a little bit, but it doesn't move nearly as much as the charcoal. So if you have a China marker, you could do that. Use that. Hey, Ian. But they look the same, but they're very different mediums, these two things. They behave very differently. I do think, that being said, it's worth having both of them in your stash of stuff. Sure, I love charcoal, but the easy way to work with charcoal, in my opinion, is to get a charcoal pencil. These are the easy way. All right, so now we've got our outline of our giraffe on here, and we've got our background, so now we get to painting. All righty. So we're going to pull out some whitewash. And the charcoal pencil, I think, is just a General's brand. It's not a particular, I think I have another one up here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I think it's just General's. It's not any particular, fancy brand. Yeah, so the China markers are an old, like, sign writing, like, layout tool. Back a million years ago, when I was still working as a licensed dispensing optician, and I was a lab tech, so that means I made your eyeglasses, we used the China markers for marking the lenses. So I've been using these for a long time for lots of different things. They're really great for marking on glass because they stay, and it doesn't come off until you want it to come off. It will come off, but you have to, clean it. And in those days, we used water machines with chemicals in them. So we needed the marks to stay. So there's a little bit of trivia. I don't know how they do it now because I haven't worked in that field in a long time. Okay, I'm going to get out some green. This is desert cactus. Yeah, see, you press. So if your mom does that, you probably did recognize those. And let's see, we are going to get out some buttermilk. Yeah, they work great on glass. So today I'm going to try not to use goofy colors. We're going to be kind of suggestive about our marks, but I'm not necessarily going to use goofy colors. Oh, Cape Town. Oh, drought. I live in California, so yeah, we know about drought. It may be raining here now, but we need a few years of rain to get over the drought that we've had. Black plum. The black plum might be interesting. So let's put a little bit of that on our palette. It's a dark purple. We're using Americana Acrylic Paints today. Nothing fancy, just craft paints. Americana craft paints are a really good one. This is a burnt umber. I know, isn't the green pretty? It's like a sagey green. It's called cactus, desert cactus. Yeah. I want to get out a little bit of, I think, cadmium yellow. Let's see. We'll use the cadmium. And You know, I'm going to sneak some turquoise something in there somewhere. So we're going to get out some turquoise paint. Desert turquoise. Hey, Dee, how are you? Snow. You know, I live in California. We really only have 2 seasons. Really spring and summer. We don't, you know, our fall is really like everybody else's spring. Our winter's not normally that cold and rainy, not in the part of California I live in anyways. I'm just still picking colors. True blue. Okay, I think that's enough colors right now for us to get started. So we're going to start with our palette knife. It is the giraffe. Okay, so we're going to get started with the palette knife. And of course, we're going to work on our background first. And then we'll work on our giraffe. So I'm going to dip in this sandy color first. I need a clip. These are just clips from the dollar store. I use these sometimes when my journals start to get too curly and the pages don't want to stay flat enough. Oh, that's not good, Ian. Now, nothing at this stage on the page is too precious. You know, if I go over parts of the giraffe with paint, we're not going to sweat it. We can always bring it back. Ooh, pretty. Trying to remember to look at my inspiration note photo and not go off and just do my own thing. Although I will do that eventually. It's not quite the time yet. So we're just using the palette knife because I want to, you know, give our background some more shape and form. I don't necessarily want to cover up all the collage we put on there. That's going to help me with my background. Yeah, you know, the kids, meaning my daughter and almost son-in-law, keep saying that they want to move to Canada. And I just, you know, my daughter's from California and her boyfriend's from Lithuania, but he's been here since he was like 7. Like the kids have no idea. Like we don't have that kind of cold weather. They don't know what they're in for. These are the 2 blues, the turquoise and the true blue. I'm going to use them up here in the sky. And I'm dipping my palette knife in both colors at the same time, sort of like you would do when you're like folk art painting. Yeah, it doesn't really get cold here in California where I'm at in Central California. You know, maybe every few years we get a winter that gets down to like 20 and everybody's scrambling to wrap their pipes. But that is really kind of rare, to be honest. So this is just a little bit of the yellow. Yeah, we have like wet and dry. That's like here. Maureen. Sorry, never hopeless. That's like here. We have like wet and dry. It doesn't really, if you go up into the California mountains, you have more of a season, but So you can see that just with, you know, a few marks and some simple tools, you really can make an interesting, you know, background in your, on your canvas or on a journal. You guys have seen me do this on canvas a lot of times. It doesn't have to be complicated. The most important thing is to just have fun. I feel like I tell you guys that all the time. Oh, thank you, Maureen. Oh, if you would be so kind as to leave some feedback either on Etsy or Amazon or both, that would be fabulous. And it was intended to be thought-provoking. I don't want to give you exact instructions. I want to provoke you to think really about what do you want out of life? What do you want out of your creative life? And how can you go about getting that? I don't want to give you exact instructions because for everybody it's going to be different. And I want you to figure it out for yourself. So I'm glad that that's what you got out of it. It is kind of, you could do this part with a credit card. Definitely you could do it with a credit card. You know, I wear flip-flops year round, you know, unless it's there's actually snow and ice on the ground. I've got flip-flops on. Right, crafty grandma. So yeah, so I'm I don't know. So your thing says crafty grandma 56. I don't know if that's your age or what, but yeah, I mean I'm 53 years old and I remember China markers being around for a long time. They're still around. These are by Generals and I've bought them both at Michael's and at my fancy art supply store. So okay, so I like what's going on with the background, but we need to brighten it up a little bit. So, and I'm going to use the colors we have. And I'm going to mix a different green. And I'm going to use a brush. And I'm just dabbing. I'm dabbing and dabbing. Being suggestive of what's in the background of the inspiration photo. I should probably put the inspiration photo like over here so you guys can see it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, they're great. I love China markers. So I'm not really cleaning my brush. I'm just kind of wiping it off on my baby wipe. Yeah, I like the charcoal pencils also because they're easy to sharpen. There's other kind of charcoal pencils out there, but with the ones that you can peel, it's much easier to get a sharper tip. The other kind that you actually use a sharpener, no matter how careful you are, they tend to break. See, I had art teachers that we used pen and ink. I had an art teacher that was a cartoonist. So yeah, I don't know. I like where this is going. I don't want to cover up too much of our paper. And I don't want to, at this stage at least, leave too many definite marks. I'm going to break out a neon. You knew that was going to happen at some stage. This is just kind of early for the neon, but I do want to break out a neon. The question is, what color of neon? I'm tempted to do red. You're 36. I remember 36. You know what? I want to do orange. I like orange. I love using my dip pens, and in fact, I just ordered some new ones. And the face I posted yesterday, last night, I should say, of Cindy Utter's challenge, her October challenge, which was no paint, I did with ink, Sumi ink. So I'm going to take some of this orange and use some of it on our giraffe. You know, other than picking the photo, I don't plan these things. Those of you who are new to the broadcast, I don't plan these things other than, you know, picking the photo. I never quite know where they're going to end up. And I always say they might turn out like poop. Most of the time they turn out decent. You never know. And I'm not one, if you're new to my channel, I am not one generally to paint with, you know, traditional colors or do anything that's too blendy. I usually do something that's more abstract. I know, right? The orange just made that pop, didn't it? I'm going to switch to a different brush now. I'm going to use this round one, I think. And I am going to take our purple, I think. You know, I have this thing for purple. And we're going to add some purple to him. Now, like I said before about the charcoal pencil, it's blending with some of the paint, and that's okay. I love adding just a little bit of neon, whether you're doing an abstract piece or a realistic piece, or an expressive piece. The addition of a color pop like the neon orange is not a bad thing. And you know, this is a giraffe, and you can tell by the shape of it that it's a giraffe. But so far, I'm using orange and purple. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Lisa. And yeah, orange and purple aren't necessarily giraffe colors, just, you know, in case you didn't know that. You know. But we're here to paint, you know, an art piece of a giraffe. We're not here to... Oh, that was too much paint. Good thing I still have a baby wipe in my hand. Oh, I'm sorry, Annie. I missed something. What gets better every year? Right? Yeah. Oh, I just went back and saw what you guys were talking about. You know, I think you just get past the an age where, you know, you really care so much about pleasing other people, and you just are going to do what makes you happy. It's too bad we don't learn that lesson a little earlier in life. There is a difference with Sumi inks and Indian inks. There's a little bit difference in the color, even if they're both black. There's a little bit difference in the dry time. And Sumi ink is not necessarily permanent after it's dry. It's can be reactivated with water. And I'm not so sure. I think Indian inks are permanent. But Sumi ink is really cheap. I can get it at the Japanese dollar store for $1.50 for a big bottle. And I actually have 2 bottles of it, and I'll probably die and still have a whole bottle of Sumi ink. Yeah, I'm glad that if you guys are having a bad day, that this is helping you, you know, do some art, or, you know, sit back with a cool rag on your head or something. Daiso, yeah. So this is my journal that I've been doing left-handed art in, and like Cindy's challenges from her channel. She's here right now. I've been doing those in this book. And it's one of those journals that I kind of need to, you know, fill up. So I decided this morning I would do that, and I kind of have a lot of painted canvas right now. You guys need to buy some of it because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, you guys. I'm going to let's see. You a flower child scrapper, you'll get there. The point where you just, you know, you do get to a point where you're more concerned with what you want out of life and less concerned about people think. Generally, it happens when you're getting older because you're realizing, you know, that none of us get out of here alive, and you have a limited time on this planet. You know, yeah. Just, I mean, I don't try on purpose to aggravate people, but you know. Do you guys want me to zoom in on what I'm doing right now on the giraffe? Okay. So there's always, you know, stages in your painting, and like right here, there's actually 2 legs here, but the way I've painted it and drawn it, it looks like 1. So we have to fix it. Oops. He's cute. I know. And I barely got started. So right now we're going to, the background is dry. And remember I said I got started on this background earlier, a little while ago, so that it would be dry, so that I could get in here with the baby wipe if I needed to and scrub. I'm not always right, flower child scrapper, but you know, sometimes I have moments of clarity. Yeah, just enjoy, you know, enjoy the moment, and, you know, live more in the moment, and less about what other people think. Just live in the moment. That's probably the best advice that you're going to get. I say that fully realizing that when I was young, I had, you know, trouble with all of those things. Oh, I had that a few years back. It was the best thing I ever did, I have to tell you. I was legally blind without corrective lenses until I had my LASIK done. I do need reading glasses occasionally, but for the most part, I can go without anything, which is fabulous, just fabulous. Yeah, we just need to fix this. The back legs are not quite right. So just because these are craft paints doesn't mean you can't mix them to make unique colors. They're acrylic paint. And now you're not going to get the same colors because pigments aren't the same. Oh, that's a good idea, Ian. As soon as I get the shadows to a place that I like. So I like having that pop of the, you know, unexpected color, the neon showing through. And I'm barely touching this brush to the canvas. I'm barely. And you notice I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to be perfect about it by any stretch. It does. I just always feel like if you're going to paint and you're going to do the whole art thing, then do it in a way that expresses some emotion and some feeling and have fun with it. A perfect picture of a giraffe, I would just print this and frame it. But that's not what we're shooting for. We're shooting for an art piece. And if you want to learn how to do this kind of painting really well and do it with human beings, I do recommend Pauline Agnew as a teacher. She has a number of online and in-person courses, and this is the kind of stuff she teaches. In different colors in a spectral way. Oh, I have to paint the spots now. Yeah, so laser treatment was expensive, but we were spending thousands of dollars a year between me, my husband, and my daughter on glasses. I'm looking back at some of the old comments, and it was worth it to get the laser treatment in the long run. Saved a lot of money. And we had insurance at the time that covered it. Okay, Dee, hopefully nobody else is getting feedback noises because I have the new microphone and we shouldn't be getting any of that with the snowball mic. Should be fine. Yeah, I was at the point when I did this, which was a few years ago in my early 40s, where I was going to need bifocals. And as a former optician and longtime contact lens wearer, I did not want to go there. So I opted to do the laser treatment. Yeah, I'm going to, and I think we're going to do, like you said, we're going to do shades maybe. I'm going to put some of this orange on to first, wait, because we lost some of our orange. I have just a teeny bit of paint on the brush, not too much of the neon. Okay. Don't be terrified of it. Listen, if I can do it, and I made the mistake of watching my husband's surgery, he had it done first, and then I did mine. That was a mistake. Don't do that. Don't do that. But if I can do that and make it through, it's fine. All you see is the bright light. You don't see anything. Yeah, you don't have to wear glasses after them. I didn't quite have my full distance correction done because if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to read at all without glasses. I would have to have full-time reading glasses, and I didn't want to do that. So I have not quite 20/20 for distance, but that means I can wear, don't have to wear reading glasses all the time. Well, no surgery is 100% guarantee, but you know, I would shop around for a doctor that has experience in doing it. Number one, get a good reputable doctor to do it. Don't go to some hack, and really have him really go through all the steps with you. But my husband and I both had it, and my dad had it first. He was in his mid 60s when he had it done, and it corrected him to 20/20. If my dad can do it, and he's a big giant baby, to be honest with you, if he can do it, anybody can do it. And he has to this day, he's 77, and to this day he has great vision. He has to wear readers, but he doesn't, but he was like me. We were both blind without corrective lenses. I'm not sure what the exact odds are anymore. I know when they first started coming out with this kind of surgery, I wouldn't have done it if you would have paid me. There's just no way on the planet. I would have done it. You couldn't have paid me enough money. It would not, there's no way. But they have come a long way in perfecting it. And I saw a doctor out here in California that is very well known for his surgeries. I don't think this is exactly what Ian meant, but it just feels right. So it's what I'm going to do. I have the purple on here and some of the cream. And I'm going to just work on making some of his spots, and also covering up some of the black lines just a little bit, or disguising them. Thanks. It's pretty routinely done now. Yes, Lisa, the surgery is pretty routine, and I don't think the chances of something going wrong are as much as they used to be. So I would check into it. If it's something you really think you might want to do, check into it. I know that I'm very happy with it. Now, there's lots of cosmetic surgeries you could have that I would never in a million years do, that have a higher risk of having something go wrong than LASIK does. I mean, you know, if I was going to take a risk, I would have a full body lift. Can they just start at the eyebrows and just pull the whole thing up? Like, just keep pulling until you pull everything up. Maybe make me a few inches taller while you're at it. Yeah, there you go. There's my clock. So the other way to keep your marks kind of abstract and suggestive is to use your non-dominant hand. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I worried more about that stuff when I was younger than I do now. So we're gonna, I think, add some blue to him, because why not? I know he's a giraffe, but why not? Now the purple is warmer than the blue. And if you just keep kind of going until your palette knife runs out of paint, you'll get different levels of marks. And you know what happens? So if you get some in the wrong place, just go back. And you can always take your baby wipe. Yeah, you know, if you're okay with glasses, I would just stay with that. I was to the point where I wasn't okay with it anymore, and I'd been wearing contacts for so long, and sometimes because of work had them in for so many hours that they were actually starting to affect the health of my eye, and I was having vascular growth into the cornea, which is bad, just FYI. And so I had to do something, and so yeah. Now, if I put more of this orange on here, I have to be careful because all these other paints are wet and they could cause colors you don't want. So just be careful. He's not bad for something that I didn't really plan very well. Let's see. Yeah, it does have, I think the chime is called Westminster. That's probably why. And that's, I know, probably not how you pronounce it, but you know, I mispronounce a lot of things. Okay, let's go up here and do some. So you have sort of suggestions of spots without actual spots, which is kind of nice. Again, I know that's probably not what Ian meant when he was suggesting how to do the spots earlier, but. Oh, hey, Cody. Thanks. We're going to be moving our TV room in front of the house around, I think, over the Christmas holiday. Getting rid of some furniture. That's just all wrong, so we're going to have to just wipe some of this off. So this is a General's Layout pencil, which is a dark, soft black graphite pencil, which is another one of my favorite pencils. I'll just give you a different kind of line. It's a very soft graphite pencil. Okay, Maureen, see you later. Oh, see you later, Cindy. Have a good dinner. Yeah, so that's the chime that's in that clock. That's probably why it sounds that way. The clock was a engagement, no, I'm sorry, wedding present from my mother and father-in-law when we got married. My father-in-law has since passed. His like head is giving me fits, just so you guys know. It's made me mess up his neck. I'm probably too stuck in with kind of being literal with him, because I do that and I forget that I'm trying to be expressive. Okay, see you later, Muriel. So remember, this charcoal pencil is water soluble. So you can also mix it with like matte medium instead of water on your artwork. And when you do that and you activate it with like matte medium, then it's not going to move around after it dries. I kind of want to, let's see, let's get a small, I have those small scraper tools that I made. These are just cut up gift cards. This is a piece of a cut up gift card. And this is what I kind of want to do. Okay, so using the photo as inspiration for light and shadow, I'm going to use the colors that are on the palette. I'm going to start on his face and try to get his face somewhere that I can live with it. And yeah, I know we're using yellow, which, you know, giraffes aren't yellow, but and I'm using the colors that are just on the palette. Whoops, that was too much yellow. So this is why we have that baby wipe in our hand. Okay. So one way to get unique shaped or sized scraping tools is to make them yourself and cut them out of things like an old gift card. This actually is an old insurance card, AAA insurance card. So I'm just looking at the giraffe in the photo, the places where he's in the light, or that the parts of him are lighter and brighter and not recessed. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with a cooler color on that is one that I have on my palette. Let's do the aquamarine or turquoise. Now, compared to the other colors on my palette, this is still on the warm side because it's in the green. The cooler colors would be the purple and the blue, the darker blue. And one nice thing about doing, you know, these kind of expressive, kind of unrealistic paintings, even sort of primitive style paintings in a journal, is that you can just try different things and you don't have to worry about, you know, how they turn out, or, you know, you don't have to show it to anybody, and you can just kind of be more free to play. Okay, and then we're going to go with the green. This green is more of a gray blue. It's less on the yellow side, so in my opinion, it looks a little bit cooler. Oh yeah, so you can use anything, Coca-Cola, you know, cans, soda pop cans, gift cards. You can use a lot of things. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money on stuff to get, you know, interesting supplies to play with. Or for the paint for that matter. This is DecoArt's Americana paint. It's not expensive. I know here in the States, at least, you know, it's on sale quite a bit. And the regular price isn't expensive anyway. So I'm going to skip the dark blue and go in with the purple. There's the clock again. So right here, there's too much purple. So let's get rid of some of that. Oh, that's a good random question. So you mean because we'll just eat it, or because we're allergic to it, or either, or both, or like a trigger food? I know, isn't he cute? And you know, normally I would think I have to brighten him up by adding white or something to make him pop from the background, but you know, I don't have to, because every time I bring back the neon orange, that does it for me. Ah, candy corn. Candy corn. Ay, ay, ay. I like candy corn, but I need to not have it in the house. Because I just have no control. Candy corn, well, you can find it, you know, other than Halloween. That's just a seasonal food. For me, it's mostly seasonal foods. Another one that I really like, Stollen, which is a German like Christmas cake, which we always have in the house at Christmas time. It's hard not to just eat the whole cake in one sitting. Year-round foods that I just don't buy because I eat them. If I buy them, probably just like any like good chocolate. Like I love dark chocolate, like dark chocolate M&Ms. I like dark Seas chocolate. So I just don't buy candy because I eat it. That's really not good for me. So I would, you know, like wait until they go on sale, unless that, you know, I mean, unless you don't mind paying that, but stock up on them when they're on sale. If your stores near you have ever have them on sale, and go buy your colors when they're on sale. He is awfully cute for something I didn't plan. The orange just makes him pop, and the suggestion of the spots, it's just all about that. Wow, I kind of want to stop now because I think he's looking good. So I do cook and I do bake, and one of the things I cook, but when I cook it, I make my husband take it right to work because I'll eat the whole batch by myself. Is biscotti, and I make a peach white chocolate biscotti, and I make a lemon blueberry biscotti, and yeah, they're really good. But yeah, we need to have him take them to work. That being said, his coworkers are like, you know, begging him to have me make cookies because they love them. I love him. The, you know, neon really makes him pop, and then the blue helps with the shadows. I am going to bring back this black line right here, just like that. There we go. That's not bad. So that's our giraffe for today. And you know, it doesn't have to be, generally speaking, my pages have words on them. It doesn't have to have any words on it. It can just be about practicing an art technique. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, chocolate. I like dark chocolate, and I love cookies. And so those are things that we don't have in the house very often because, yeah, it's just not a good idea. Do a silhouette of one in the background. Oh, you mean like over here? Like just a suggestion of one in the background. We could do that. Let's see. I'm going to use paintbrush for that. We'll use the filbert. And we are going to just mix a bunch of colors together. So see, this is what happens. You mix the colors on your palette together that you have. I'm avoiding the light colors, but the blue, the brown, and the purple, they're going to mix together. You're going to get this gray. It's like if you mix your three primaries to colors together from like kindergarten, that you remember from kindergarten, you'll get some shade of black or gray, depending on, you know, how much of each color that you have in there. No, don't use black. Yeah, I love biscotti, and we have a family recipe that I've since added, you know, taken in and changed around. But we have the basic recipe, which is a favorite. But then I have the lemon blueberry and the peach white chocolate that are also a favorite. Yeah. I got you, Ian. I chose the paintbrush, and I don't think that was the right tool because I'm getting something, I'm trying too hard. So the background's dry, so we're going to wipe it off, and we're going to go with something else. The scraper tool. I would suggest to you, rather than eating something that you aren't supposed to, and we all do that occasionally. So if you do that, don't beat yourself up about it. Try going for a walk outside. You know, as trite as it may seem, and, you know, you hear people say it and you're like, oh, seriously? Actually going to the gym and like on a treadmill, like, really does help. If you aren't want to get out to a gym, maybe just go walk around the block, go to a local park, get out of your own space. If you have to, you know, have sugar to get your energy, how about some natural sugar, like a piece of fruit rather than chocolate? I know chocolate's good because I love chocolate, but and I agree, Ian, this fits in with the painting more. And who doesn't love just, you know, painting with a scraper? I mean, look at all the fun things you can do. And the only way you could be like more suggestive with this is if you, like I said, painted with your non-dominant hand. I kind of like the idea of like it being like part of a herd that's, you know, there's just the one that you can really see and the rest of them are kind of in the background. So I am all for, you know, understanding that, you know, you can't always get out of the house for lots of different reasons, physical reasons, mental health reasons. Um, go in the backyard. You have a backyard, I'm sure. That's probably part of your safe place. So do that. Go in the backyard and just get some fresh air. Maybe take some painting supplies out into the backyard with you and, you know, just have a good time in the backyard for a while and just get yourself out of that, you know, space that you've been in. It's kind of, you know, you've gotten yourself into that funky space. That's nice because it looks like he's like part of a herd that's, you know, wandering the open space. Yeah, so I mean, if you're trying to watch what you're eating and drinking, then, you know, chocolate and wine are probably not good choices. And I'm the first one to tell you that I break those rules. But because we're all only human, and a glass of wine now and then is not going to hurt you unless you have a problem with alcohol. But don't use it as a crutch to boost yourself up by any means. And try doing something else first, like getting some exercise, and, you know, go watch your favorite TV show, turn up some music, and just, you know, sit and listen to some good music. But definitely for me, I hate exercise, but getting out on the treadmill really does help boost my energy more than chocolate does. And I know I say that and like somebody, I'm going to hell somewhere for that. Yeah, no, he's not lonely anymore. I love this. I'm going to stop now because I love the way it looks. And yeah, we're going to stop. So there is our painting for today. Now, Wednesday, we're going to do a suggestive watercolor of a giraffe. And we're going to use the other picture of the close-up of the giraffe head. My photo. I will link both photos and put all the materials in the video description. Does anybody else have any more questions? Yeah, burning a candle, wash your face with cold water. That'll wake you up right up. You know, if you have to have sugar, try substituting natural sugars. Fruit, have a piece of fruit. But yeah, definitely, you know, get out and go take a walk. That would be my best advice. If you don't have a gym membership, and we don't all, or you don't have a treadmill, just get out and get some fresh air. Walk around a mall. Go mall walking with the senior citizens. They're safe people. They're seniors. And, you know, it's fun to go out in the mall early in the morning when, you know, it's all closed and you're there with the senior citizens and you're all mall walking. That's actually fun. And yeah, having some protein, making sure you're having enough protein. I have this thing for peanut butter, which is high in protein, but it's also high in fat. That's probably something I ought not to have in the house. I love peanut butter. All right. I still have one, but, you know, if and when we move, that might not be happening. So we'll see. All right. So there's our giraffe for today. He's a cute journal page. So yeah, this is a journal that we've been doing the challenges in Cindy Utter's channel. And also I've done some left-handed art in here and some timed art. This is a journal that I made. So it's got this cover here. And I've made it, and I've actually filled it with old, I'll take these clips off and show you. So old, this is watercolor paper, and some of it is like thick watercolor paper, like maybe even 300-pound paper, but it's all like stained. It was already stained and marked up before I put it in this journal. It was like somebody gave it to me. So I just, and it's different kinds of like watercolor paper and poster board. And I just cut them all up and put them in this journal, and I made this random journal. I try to remember to sign and date all of my pages. And I don't always remember to do that, but I do try. Someday I'm going to pass on, and my daughter's going to be mad at me because she's going to have all these journals with pages that are not signed. I try, though. But you should wait until it's dry and then sign it and then date it if you feel like you need to date it. You're welcome, Ian. Thanks for the suggestion for the other giraffes in the background. I think he turned out really cute. So we will do another giraffe on Wednesday, and don't be afraid to give me suggestions of what you'd like to see going forward. As we get into the holiday season, be aware that in the States we have Thanksgiving coming up this month, and that week I may do a Monday broadcast, but I may not have a Wednesday broadcast because of the holiday. I will let you guys know when I know. And Christmas week, I probably won't have any broadcasts. I know I won't. Probably for 2 weeks at Christmas time, there won't be any live broadcasts. We are going to be moving the TV room around and getting rid of furniture and doing some stuff in the front of the house. So there'll be 2 weeks where I'm not going to do any live broadcasts. Thank you so much. Yeah, even just the date is so important. Don't go to the convenience store, crafty grandma. Go to the library. Go out to a local park. Go mall walking, but stay away from where there's candy. Oh, thank you. I do paint on the backs of the journal. So on the backs of the pages, I always do. And like these, you can see this. Here's the tag that I put in here, and I did the back. This is the back of another page. And I've gotten paint on the spine, so it's like kind of sticky. But you can see that I paint on both sides generally. But that's why their pages get a little warped, but that's fine. It's mixed media. So take a walk over to the library. I get my mail delivered to a postal place that's local to me. I can go for a walk over there. We'll do a flip of this journal when I get it done. I don't know when that's going to be, but I don't know. I'm trying. That's why we're working in here. I'm trying to get it done. All right, that's it. I'm going to go. I'm going to have some lunch, and then I've got to go get my mail, and I have more stuff to film. I have to cross some things off of my list, and I have video to edit. All right, I will see you guys later. And welcome, Paula, even if you're late. No problem. And Eve, Eve, if you're in any one of either my Facebook group or the one of the sister groups, your question about what to do when you need an energy boost and you're trying to stay away from chocolate and alcohol and all that stuff, healthy things to do, is probably a good question to ask over in the groups and see what kind of answers we get. Because we all have been there and we all probably need new ideas. Oh, good. I'm glad. So just give it a try and challenge yourself to paint something new, whether it's a giraffe or something. Don't feel like you have to do an exact representation. Do something artistic and fun. Do it in your journal. Nobody has to see it but you. And if you screwed up especially, you don't have to be crazy like me and show it on to the world. All right. I will see you guys later. I will be back Wednesday with Watercolor Wednesday. Don't forget to visit my Etsy shop and support my channel by shopping in the Etsy shop. You can get signed copies of my books there. All the new 2017 rubber stamp line is listed over there, along with some other new things. And you can also get my book on Amazon in paperback or Kindle form. So support my channel by doing one of those things. I'd appreciate it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe when the recording goes up on my YouTube channel. All right, that's it for right now. Go out and do something nice for yourself because you deserve it, and I'll see you later.